So we are out here today, and we're gonna see if we can repair this ramp, or I guess replace it. We're not gonna really try repairing this, but I bought some concrete block, and I'm not really sure what my plan is with the block, but hopefully we can get some sort of ramp or step system to at least get the tractor in and out, because like I said, this is not doing so well. So this morning I loaded everything up, the block and everything, and then I backed the truck over by the garage, shut it off, and then ate breakfast, got ready to go. And right before we were ready to leave, I started the truck, and I was like, did that start slow? And my wife's like, oh, I don't know, it seemed fine. I'm like, no, it sounded like it started slow, and the first time I started it seemed fine. So we drove over here, I stopped, got gas, started the truck again with my son, and I was like, that sounded like it started slow. I'm like, that does not sound, to me it sounds like it's just spinning over a little slow. And I checked the voltage gauge as we're coming down the highway, and nope, it says 14 volts. I'm like, well, it's obviously charging, hopefully charging. So we got here, and I said, you know what, I'm going to shut the truck off, and I'm going to throw the headlights on. I'm going to throw the headlights on for just a little bit and see if it turns over really slow. So anyway, we got down here and shut the truck off, and I'm like, you know what, we're going to try load testing the battery here. So I turned the headlights on for, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a little less than that. And we go to start the truck, and it started really slow. I mean, it cranked over extremely slow. So probably need to get a battery for this, which is interesting. And the last couple batteries that I've replaced, the one on the Xterra that time, same thing. It was just completely out of the blue. Tried to start it one day, and it started really slow. And that's kind of how this thing was. Like I said, the first time I started it in the morning, it seemed fine. Second go around, it was immediately slower. So I don't know, that's the original battery, so 2018, and we're in what, 2021? I don't know, that's not really good for a battery, that especially a factory battery. You know, my Crown Victoria and the old Fords we used to have, those seem to last forever. You'd get like 10 years out of a battery, it seemed like. So yeah, we're gonna backed up. We're gonna pull that ramp away with the tractor, and it's really the only plan is to get the ramp fixed or whatever. Obviously we'll probably have a video later on about the truck and the battery, and I got a video I'm working on with the oil that I took out of the brush cutter as well. So let's get to work here. So this is what it looks like. I'm not 100% sure that this is going to work, but I wanted something that was a little bit more weather resistant. And the blocks are definitely weather resistant, but I'm not sure if this is going to work. So that's what I had the ramp sitting on, were those blocks there. So, and then what I bought is just some more of those same blocks here. So there's 15 of those. So we'll see. Even if we just make a step so we can get in and out, we'll be good. And maybe figure out something more permanent after the fact. But we're gonna rake this out, get all the needles out, kind of flatten it out, and then we'll come up with a plan, see what we get. Okay, so our plan here is we're gonna go 2 block high right next to the shipping container, and then I'm thinking one and maybe bury one halfway in. That should give us a pretty decent ramp. But to get the 2 block where it's not too low, we're gonna use some of this sand here. It just scoops them up in from the back. There's the whole plot here is just full of sand. Everything's very sandy, so that's helpful. Don't have a tamp or anything, so we'll just have to do the best we can out here. So it rained overnight, so when I scooped this up, I was kind of surprised. The back wheels were spinning. It was really light in the back. I don't know how much a bucket full of wet sand weighs. I imagine it's enough, but if you do recall, these tires are loaded with rim guard or beet juice, and then there's 2 wheel weights on each side. I think those are 60 a piece, so that's 120 pounds of wheel weights plus whatever the rim guard is. And then I also have the 8 42 pound or 40 pound suitcase weights, and I always talked about getting a set of 70 pound suitcase weights. You can get 8 across the back here. And I know there's always been discussion about, well, you don't need that much weight on this tractor. The axle's aluminum. You shouldn't be. Well, a bucket full of wet sand, that's what it weighs. And if the back end's coming off the ground, and for anyone who's actually gone through the owner's manual to look up what the ballast is for this machine, you'd be really surprised how much ballast John Deere says you should have on it to operate the loader on it. So alright, so we're going to get shoveling here and hopefully get some progress made. Alright, so this is where we're at. I think this is going to be our design here. We should have plenty of block. I think the next one we may go the long way with the block, and that should be enough of a ramp to get in and out. So sand, I've been using the block, and then we had a small, like a 2 or 3 pound hammer out here with a block of wood just to tap them on. And then to split that block, I actually used the hitch pin out of the rotary cutter, and I just kept tapping it across the top, trying to get like a line sort of scribed in it, and it broke off pretty clean. That's exactly what I wanted there. So, and I'm assuming this will settle out because we're not packing it extremely well. I've been just dropping the block on there trying to pack it down as well, which is okay because we're pretty close on clearance there for where the latches go on the bottom there. So I don't want this to heave, hopefully, during the winter, and then I can't get into the shipping container because that would be less than ideal. So we're gonna keep trucking here and give you an update here in a second. So this is what we got. Everything was just kind of done with eye. Like I said, nothing was compacted, but this should get us in and out of here. Looks like in the middle there, those two look really low. Now that I look at that, let's take a look at it from the inside. Oh yeah, those two are low. We might have to put a little sand underneath those. But it's the same height that we had before with the ramp. Wooden ramp, because you got to be underneath these latches here. You want to close that door, Thomas? So we had one that was rubbing over here because those, you can see the latches there hang down. So it's really close. So hopefully that's not an issue during the winter months, but I'm thinking this is going to settle out quite a bit, so we should be okay. And as long as we got this, we should be able to get stuff in and out without too much of a problem. Definitely without, we would have a trick getting the four-wheeler in, because the shipping container's on 2 of these blocks, the blocks that I have here stacked up, so that's pretty good amount of height. And I guess I could have just took dirt and pushed it up, but I feel like this is a kind of a better solution. So we'll see if we can wrap it up here. Alright, so now we're going to check to make sure the four-wheeler fits. That's a huge concern here. My son is really concerned that it's not going to work, and I'm like, no, it'll be fine. Alright, so that looks like it should work. We'll see how well it holds up here over time. Not sure how long it needs to hold up. Like I said, I don't know if we're keeping this thing or going to send it down the road. If I do keep it, I may come up with a different solution than this. Maybe, I don't know. We'll worry about that when we get to that point, but this is how I did it, and you can still kind of see some of the block move a little bit. They might need to be leveled out, but I'm just going to leave it, let it settle in, and see what happens with it. There's an abundance of sand, so if we need to bring more sand in, that's not an issue. We can always haul some more in. But looks like this project's going to be complete, so... I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. So the last time I was out here, I talked about clearing out some of the brush and stuff that was over here. I did that today with just the bucket. So there was a skinny pine that was up in here right next to this oak that I pushed over with the tractor. I went up as high as I could go with the bucket. I gave a little push just to see, and I saw it starting to lean pretty good. So I'm like, well, maybe if I give it a little bit more, there's got a lot of weight up on top there. And then it had a pretty good lean. I backed off and it was leaning that way. Well, then it was just a matter of giving it another push and came right out of the ground. And like I said, it rained last night. I don't know how much here, so the ground was a little wet as well. So that didn't take much and that pushed right over, so that's nice. So, and that's kind of where he's digging there. And then this is where the original trail was that I brought you on last time. And all over in here, that was all brush. Now I got that all cleared back. So like all the stuff over here that I pushed, that's all I got to get moved yet. We're wrapping it up, but I was gonna grab the forks and I can pick the stuff up with that. And I got a pile of like dirt and rotten wood that's out of sight, so that's where that's gonna go. This isn't perfect, but it's better. I could run the brush hog through here too, just to get some of these little twigs and stuff that are still sitting up there. I didn't try pushing this pine over. I wasn't gonna worry about that. But yeah, I got this cleared out now, so that's pretty good. So now I can get to these. You got that oak here and this nice big oak here, and that should give us plenty of room to drop that safely and not have to worry about dealing with all the underbrush here. And then back in here too, there was some stuff. And I might take all this out too, because this is kind of at the crest here, and then from this point it all kind of slopes away. So I might just clear that just at the top surface here, the top of this hill here, because then everything else is pitched away. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see on camera that it's pitched. Maybe over here you can see it a little bit better. So there, well, maybe not. If you can see the wood pile, you can see that that's sitting down quite a bit compared to where we're at here. So this whole area is pitched, so that's good. But like all this small stuff again, that I can't do anything with that with the brush hog. This probably, yeah, that's too big to run through there. But like all this stuff here I could get with the bucket, no problem. The bucket would just push that stuff over. So this has opened it up nicely. That should be plenty wide. And like I said, I got to get those trees figured out. But until I'm done cutting grass, which, cross fingers, it's getting close here. Hopefully we'll be done soon. But I don't know, next week they're talking, when we were driving out here, 77, 78, 80. I'm like, holy smokes, that's still grass growing weather. So, and I'm not sure the plan with the trees here. I'm thinking this will probably be drop one and spend an entire day on it and still not have it finished. We could get the majority of the logs out, but this oak is really branchy at the top, so that's a lot of messing around. And I really don't want to drop a bunch of stuff and then just have piles. I'd rather do it one at a time. So yeah, that's not too bad. We got this area cleared here. Might have to talk to that guy about getting a driveway put in yet this year. We'll see the rest of the way here, but yeah. So that's going to be it for now.